Hello, dear sister. Are you alright? You don't look or seem well. It has been that way since I heard the news.
No, Mimi, I'm afraid not. Being told that your husband committed adultery is not the most easiest pill to swallow, so to speak.
Honestly, I believe that it's best to be out of the dark, even if the news is something better left unsaid.
Only some of what you have just said is agreeable.
It's just the baby, Dolly. He's a hard kicker when he wants to be. If I may continue, what I was going to say was that it does not change the fact that he was committing adultery. If he hadn't told you, it may have hurt you quite a bit more if you had found out later.
I suppose. You must feel quite lucky to have Andy. He's very good to you.
Well, I would certainly hope so, after having 2 kids and a third on the way. If I am correct, do you not adore your boss? I'm afraid I've forgotten his name.
You mean Noah Gilmore? What of him?
Aren't you two romantically interested in one another?
I am a married woman. My husband may have committed adultery, but I am a far better person to do such a thing. Besides, I wouldn't consider it love.
If you say so.
Bloody hell, is it really that late? I must have lost track of time.
You don't have work today, right? Why not just try to rest a while? We could catch up.
I suppose that seems fine. Besides, you need someone here to watch over you.
So, tell me what happened last week.
Sorry I'm late, Noah. My car wouldn't start and I had to try everything to get it to run right.
So long as it doesn't happen again, I can forgive you this time. Although next time, I may not be so forgiving. Replacing you would be a chore.
Yes, I would assume that trying to replace me would be just about impossible.
Yes, I completely agree. You are a very hard worker. Not to mention, very beautiful.
As much as I appreciate the compliment, please do not mix up personal opinions and work. Would you like me to get you some coffee?
Are you alright?
If it is all the same to you, I'd like to keep it all to myself.
I am here for you, Dolly. Whenever you want to talk about whatever it is that bothers you. I'd like my coffee black.
Yes, sir.
What else happened?
I made dinner for my husband that night, as I usually do. I made his favorite dish, a roast with potatoes, with his usual beer. When he came to the table, he didn't even look at the food before he told me it looked good. It was very upsetting.
I would not doubt that, dear. I'm so sorry.
That wasn't even the worst of it.
Oh? Do go on, Dolly.
I asked him how his day was. He answered me with, "It was work-like. Obviously, it was very busy. But it's something you wouldn't be interested in." I knew what he meant by that. Was the girl that he had been seeing was there. It took away my appetite and I was going to bed. What upset me the most was how he told me he was leaving and wasn't going to give me an answer when he was returning.
Leaving? He was going to be with that woman again?
It was the only thing that I could assume. Nonetheless, I gave him a kiss and told him to be safe, to return home to me. Keep the house clean was all he told me before he left. It was about a few days ago that I found out he was hospitalized. He was in an accident, but the police didn't tell me as to what happened to him. When I went to see him that very same day, I walked into his room and saw her there. He looked at me, and I could tell just by the look in his eyes. He didn't even want to look at me, or rather, have anything to do with me.
That bloody bastard!
It's about time for lunch. How about I make some more tea and a few sandwiches?
In all the years you have been married to that man, you have been nothing but honest and faithful to him. Why stay around for this?
I want to be able to do everything in my power to make my marriage work. Not only that, but I don't even know what else to do.
Confront him! You are a strong woman, and you do not deserve this.
If I were to do that, I'll become just like our belated sister, divorced and alone. When I married this man, I took the vows into marriage, and those are sacred laws, through thick and thin. And as I have said, I will do whatever it takes to make my marriage work, just like I have from the moment I said I do.
And will you continue through this pain, even at the cost of your own happiness?
I'll get it. May I help you?
Just delivering the post, ma'am. Enjoy your day.
Yes, thank you. And to you as well.
What came in the post, dear? Dolly, dear, what's wrong?
Divorce papers.
Divorce papers? Are they addressed to you?
Sadly.
I'll be damned. That bastard knew you would be here. Dolly, dear, this is better for you anyway. Do not distress.
How could he? After everything that I've done for him. Everything that I have done to make this work out. All the pain that I have suffered through.
There is still Noah. Even I can tell that he loves you. Please do not allow this to bring you down. God is sending you a message providing you salvation. Take advantage of that.
Perhaps.
Did you ever figure out the father?
How did you know I was pregnant?
Being I am pregnant too. I know you all too well, Dolly. You have never changed. Even from when you were a child, you may not commit adultery on purpose, but you have always been the one to do the same unto others. An eye for an eye.
You do know me very well, and I am disgraced by my actions. Nevertheless, the child is mine, and no matter who the father is, I will raise the child, alone or not.
As I said, you still have Noah, and I'm sure he will love you and the child you carry.
You're right. Thank you, Mimi. Perhaps this is better for all of us.
That's exactly what I was thinking.